looking at right now is the site of the University of Oregon's Riverfront Research Park. The plan was to build about a dozen buildings between the railroad track and the river. That was 20 years ago, and not a single building has been built. Now there is a proposal for a 4-story building and about 200 parking spaces right about where we're looking now. There's a lot of problems with this. First of all, the university doesn't have a permit. The permit expired last fall. We think it's time for them to consult the students, the faculty, and the citizens of this community to see whether it's still a viable option, given that EWEB is going to redevelop. We're looking right now towards EWEB, just a couple blocks away. That's going to become a multi-use, pedestrian-oriented development with offices and retail and restaurants and other businesses, as well as housing. Problem is that it's bound by this railroad track, it's bound by the Willamette River and the Ferry Street Bridge Viaduct. So there's very little access to that site, and architects have said that it may be difficult to provide more access. However, where we're standing here is an important access point, because the biggest market for the EWEB redevelopment, the university and the surrounding neighborhood, consists of 25,000 students and employees that could patronize these businesses. But if there's no access, how are they going to get down there? Speaking about access, we're looking at the railroad at East 8th. That's a hazard. It's a hazard for bicyclists and pedestrians trying to reach the river. It's one of about 10 hazards for pedestrians and bicyclists that are trying to get to the river and the Ruth Bascom path from the university. As I pan back across, you'll see that this site is level now, but used to be a gravel pit for Eugene sand and gravel. Then it was filled with rubble. It was also a gas manufacturing plant many years ago, and there's toxics. It's unclear about whether those toxics might leach into the Willamette River, which leads to an opportunity for remediation, which wouldn't be possible if there was a building here. As we finally pan around back across the railroad tracks towards Franklin Boulevard and Alder Street, we'll see that we're standing on a place where there's a connection to the university. And that connection is Alder Street. Alder Street connects to the university. It's about 4 blocks away. And this area that's kind of abandoned right now could be an ideal place for a bicycle pedestrian tunnel. If it was well landscaped, it could provide incredible access, and it would support the businesses such as the Phoenix Inn and the other motels and restaurants in the area. Residents could come down to the river and patronize the new EWEB development and enjoy the river. So what we're asking is for the University of Oregon to wait until the citizens have had a chance to look at the things that have changed in this area over the last 20 years before constructing. And we're asking the Oregon Research Institute to find another location for their home. We want them to find a place that suits their needs, a first-class facility, but not this site.